Who am I talking with today?
Hey, I'm MJVariant. I'm a content creator for Magic the Gathering, mostly posting on Instagram, but I have a few other places that I post as well.
Well, you got. Is that part of your setup with the sides there, with
Yeah, yeah.
all the
So,
links and everything? I was going to say, I'm like,
yeah,
shit, I could drop the logo off of mine. You got it all covered for me.
sure. Yeah, I'm using a OBS overlay, but that's where I'm all active at.
There you go. You stream as well.
I do. Actually, I started a spell table stream at the beginning of September because I've been guesting on a lot of other streams, but I kind of want to host my own
Hell
and
yeah.
start a new venture, a new, I guess, line of products. So I started the Magic Junkies spell table stream.
I was just going to ask. I was like, so what came first, MJ variant, or what is an MJ variant? Let's start there.
Yeah, yeah. So I've played Magic for over 30 years, and I've consumed Magic content for a long time, mostly watching my favorite creators on YouTube and things like that. But I went to MagicCon Chicago and actually got to meet some in person and play in the Content Creator Central area. And after that, I decided, hey, I can make content. So the first step was just getting started and thinking of, kind of a screen name or username, because way back when I started playing Magic on Arena, MTG Arena, I just used my name, like, all of my first and last name or initials, and it's like that's not very good to kind of put your full government name out there. So I was a real big fan of the Loki TV series that was on Disney Plus, and really liked the idea of variants, and so just kind of took a bit of that as, this is my variant. I have my professional side and I have my hobby side, and I have multiple hobbies. So MJ Variant is my Magic content creation side.
Got it. And variant, I mean, it's a card game, right? It's all about variants. So
Yeah, yeah.
there you go.
Again, kind of thinking about things that fit. We already had great things out there like Command Zone or Tolarian Academy, things that are within the game. So there's all kinds of variants of Magic. So kind of thought that was fitting as well.
How long have you been playing Magic for then?
So my origin story is that I started, I believe I was 12 years old. And I
Ooh,
want to say
okay.
it was, yeah, I want to say it was in the summer. Yeah, you say woo like I'm old.
You got some salt and pepper in your beard there. I mean, you're like, when I was
Yeah,
12, it's like, okay, you're back.
yeah,
You're back with me playing Magic.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So my first exposure or introduction to Magic, I believe, was the summer of 1994. Um, so it was like most of the cards were white bordered, like revised fourth edition. I think maybe Homelands was out. Um, so my friend who moved, I live in the middle of the country, kind of in a rural part of America, and I had a friend who moved here from New York State, and him and his cousin introduced me to it. So,
And what year is that? 12 years? 12 years old?
yeah, yeah. So I was born in '82,
Okay. Okay. Got it.
43 years old now, but yeah, 12 years old. That would have been 94, 95, 94, but I think it was after sixth grade, if I recall correctly.
And you've been playing straight since then?
So that's the thing with Magic. I have had different periods of where I've stopped playing, or
Sure.
had to focus on other things, life, what have you. But I actually, my parents hated the game, hated the idea of Magic and Dungeons and Dragons
Oh,
and things like
boy.
that. A very
The
religious family.
Devil's Game. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. So the first mistake I made was coming home, one, and not hiding the game somewhere, because I know the word magic was kind of a hot button for them.
Wow.
But I also came home with an all black deck that was filled with vampire bats and singer vampires and pestilence.
Sorry, just
If
the way
you
you
were,
said that, like an all
yeah,
black deck, like, yes, this is my
oh
black
yeah,
friend. It's
yeah,
like, oh, we don't
no,
truck with those folks in these parts.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
okay.
No, it was just the fact that a lot of the card names and images were,
Yeah, of course.
very
Demonic
themed
Pact,
towards, yeah.
Demonic Tutor,
Oh yeah, dark ritual,
Sacrifice.
unholy
Ooh.
strength with a pentagram in the background. So yeah, my let's just say my religious rural parents were not a fan of their first introduction into Magic the Gathering. Maybe if I'd have brought home Sarah Angels and things like
Sure.
that, it would
There
have
you
been
go.
a little bit different.
Well, all right, so you're 43 now. You've been doing this
Mhm.
for a long time. Are they kind of like loosened up a little bit? They're like, religion. It's the opiate of the masses, right? We're having fun here.
Not
Or are they
really. I
still
think
just
they,
like you and your
yeah,
demonic card game?
yeah. That's the funny thing is my mom still hates the game. She doesn't talk about it as much anymore, but yeah, I've been told throughout the years that some of my life's problems are probably tied to playing this game.
Wow, that's fucking crazy. All right,
Yeah,
that's the yes,
yeah.
that's what's going. That's
I,
the problem in my life.
yeah,
Clearly,
I love my mother, but yeah, she still blames certain things on the fact that I spend too much time on this game.
I mean, granted, yes, we do spend an unhealthy amount of time on this game, and I will give her points for that. But
Oh yeah,
she's thinking of it in a different direction, where it's like you need the lard. It's like okay, well, that's not. Wow, that's
yeah,
whew,
yeah.
that's rough. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. But your dad's kind of better with this. Like,
He never really harped on it. In fact, like when I began, I appealed to him like, "Hey, Dad, I could switch it. I could play Angels." And I don't think I think he has kind of a fun side to him that he would have been like, "Okay, yeah, it's not as bad as we think." But he never really got in on it, and then never commented on it even down the line. So, um,
thank God for dad.
yeah, yeah.
All right, well, that's reasonable, but that I don't want to say took my breath away, but it definitely record scratched me a sec where I go, wow, that's really, she's still okay. That's,
Oh yeah, yeah.
whew.
It's one of those. Again, I love my mother very much, but she has some strong opinions about things, especially about religious things. And you do try to honor and respect your parents, but at the same
Sure,
time, like
sure.
you find that actually, and we'll probably talk about this. The way this game has impacted my life has actually been in very positive ways.
How about that? You don't say. It's like as we joke about, it's not about it's the cards, it's the gathering, right? It's the
Yeah.
actual
Hmm.
people you meet along the way playing this game, and it's like this has been great. Like just all the people I've met and interacted with. So I definitely get you there.
Yeah.
So what kind of hobbies do you have outside of Magic?
I'm glad you asked that. I know I kind of alluded to it earlier, but as you transition into adulthood, whether you start a family or not, I think it's still healthy to have hobbies. Even if you're in a relationship, I think it's healthy for each person to have hobbies. Magic has been there on and off as one of my primary hobbies, but I did start probably about 10 years ago playing disc golf. Disc golf is a
All right.
rising sport. It's more leisure, but there is a professional side to it. There's a tournament side to it that is growing. But I started just casual playing. We in our area, there's multiple courses within an hour drive, um, and it's scored just like ball golf. You have a tee box and you have a basket that you're reaching, and you have a par. So if you want to stay active, it's a good way to get outside. And it's not frisbees. Everybody likes to call it frisbee golf, but frisbees are designed for the beach and softer throws. These are, real deal equipment that are designed just like golf clubs are to fly and reach different distances and shape your shots around trees and
Hmm.
dog legs and all that stuff. So that has been one of my primary hobbies since about 10 years ago. And the sport really exploded around COVID because it was a good way for families and friends and church groups and things like that to stay outside and socially distance but stay active.
How'd you get? Was that you said 10 years? So you were doing
Hmm.
it before in the before times. How'd you get in?
Yeah.
How'd you get into disc golf?
So it turned out to be a Magic friend. One of the friends I'd made through the local LGS. It was one of their hobbies, and he introduced me to it, taught me how to play, got me set up with my starting equipment, and just kind of a little bit of overlap there. It's like, all right, well, we can do this too and have fun. So that bond of friendship started though at the LGS.
Very nice. Tell me about the Junkies. Tell me about Magic Junkies. You said you started that in September.
Yeah, yeah. And if you don't mind, I want to just real quick talk about another hobby that I started a few years
Please.
ago. This was actually right before COVID. I started community theater. Um, so my daughter had done plays and things like that in school and was kind of coming up into middle school. And it was always something that she was very passionate about. And I've always kind of had the itch to act and be funny and try to do things. But I'm also not like looking for the spotlight, but also I want to have fun. So our local theater was doing a production of the show Clue.
No kidding.
Based off the board game and the movie. It was actually, the script was very close to the movie. And so I auditioned for that right before the COVID shutdowns, or right after. Either way, it was delayed for about a year, but I've been involved in community theater since I think my first show was in 2021.
And you got into Clue? Like you actually?
It was my first time auditioning, and it was, again, this is community theater, small town, but still, I was blown away by the talent of people who had done it before and practiced it. And but yeah, I got cast as Professor Plum. So
really,
which I had a lot of fun with, because I got to be sarcastic and funny. I got to flirt with all the women in the show, and yeah, so it was just like, this is great. But yeah, so since then I've probably done, I think, like 8 different shows in our community theater.
Wow,
had a good time doing it.
So you've been doing that for several years now, like multiple.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Once you get started, you kind of get hooked. It's and of course, if you are at least in our area, if you're available, and because there's a lot of time that goes into producing a show and rehearsing. Usually for about 6 to 8 weeks, you're devoting 3 or 4 nights a week to do it. And then if you're committing to it and you're a decent actor, and especially in our area, like, male actors seem to be harder to find. I got cast in several shows, even directed a show, but I had more fun acting. So I've done that pretty much. I do a couple of shows a year.
Wow. So currently, are you in a show?
I'm not currently in a show. I turned down a couple of opportunities this year just because content creation has kind of taken more of a prominent role in what I've been doing. But next year they are doing The Play That Goes Wrong, and that's a hilarious show if you've never seen it. And
I think I've seen ads for it.
Yeah, it is. It's a popular one, and so I'm thinking about getting back into that one whenever they have auditions for The Play That Goes Wrong. The last one I did was probably a year ago, and it was Night of the Living Dead, and it was
the play.
Yep. It was, again, based off the movie.
Okay.
But it was, what people didn't know, that we put it on in October, is that it was a comedy. So, if you think about the original movie, a couple things about it. It was, I think, the first time that undead were in a movie, and they really didn't have a name for zombie yet. It was, I think they call them ghouls and things like that. And anyway, so it was also the first time that the protagonist, the main protagonist or survivor of the movie, was a minority. So the main character, Ben, was, and it was set in, like the 50s or 60s. So when we were still kind of dealing with a lot of civil rights unrest, but the main character was a, black character named Ben, and he was the last survivor. And so that was real controversial. But anyway, the show, the play that we did followed the show in the first act, but the twist was it was a comedy. And so everyone going there, was thinking they were going to be scared and see a zombie show, but it's really funny. And I get to play one of the best characters in the show. I was actually the police chief that was clearing, leading the posse to clear out the undead. And so I made my character, since I had the first few lines, I made my character really funny, and kind of broke the ice of, hey, you can laugh. We're going to have some fun tonight.
And that was a year ago.
Yeah, it was a year ago.
Yeah, man, it's ever since I started doing content creation, it's kind of taken over my life. So it's the idea of having other hobbies, and this is just like, I don't have time for anything else. Like, this is it's trying to learn lines and show up at rehearsal. It's like, I could be playing Magic right now. It's like,
Exactly. That was kind of the thing this year is they just finished the show called Heathers, and Heathers is a really popular musical.
Yeah, I know that one.
And they kind of, not, I wouldn't say heavily recruited me, but they were like, hey, you should audition. We really think there's a part for you here. But 2 things. One, I'm not very musically talented.
I was going to say, can you sing?
I wish I could sing, but I love to sing, but I'm terrible.
Shower singer. Let's go.
Listen, car singing, we're good to go.
Fuck yeah, I'd nail it in the car.
That's why, like, karaoke, like, you crushed it. I would be like, I don't want to ruin people's night by singing karaoke. But I have been in musicals. I have had to sing. Just try to limit, like I don't want to ruin the show, basically. But yeah, that was one that they did. I could have tried out for, but I didn't want to. Probably my most prominent singing role was I was Plankton in SpongeBob the Musical. So
man, you keep throwing out names of musicals or shows that I'm just like, that's a show now, or that's a thing. Like what?
Yeah.
Because that's where I started. I used to be musical theater back in the day. I almost went to college for it. Like I minored in theater in college, and it was just like so big, huge, like all the old school like Fiddler on the Roof and that kind of noise.
Oh, yeah.
So when I'm hearing like, oh yeah, there's a supernatural play now, and it's like, oh my god, what are we doing, guys?
Listen, maybe you should get back into it. I know content creation takes a lot, but anyway, that's going back to your question. Yeah, I kind of turned down the role because I was like, what's this going to do to my schedule? Because I stream, I play on other people's streams, I make content. It's fun, but what's the priority here? And so for this year it was content creation.
What are your goals as a content creator? What do you want you want ambassadorship? Do you want people to know you at events? Do you just want to get free stuff from Wizards? You want to go tour Wizards campus? What's the goal?
Well, that's personally, I just love the gathering part of it. I love to have fun. Yes, it would be great to be like a known member of the community, like more popular with amongst the content creator circle. Just as someone who brings value, who uplifts the community, who also is a good Magic player. So I feel like I started my content creation after MagicCon Chicago, which was in February. So I've basically started in March, and I feel like I've experienced a lot of growth just being me, right? Just playing Magic with friends, doing a good job, providing recommendations or growth for other people, teaching them how to play better or build better. But I also love to laugh, so I try to make people laugh and have a good time. And then ultimately, man, I want to encourage my friends, and I want to be a part of the circle, and I want them to be a part of the circle of just people that contribute positive things to this community.
It's dawning on me. We were talking about musicals and everything like that. All three. So this will be episode 4, but everybody has had a background in theater or music in some capacity. Because TCG was in musical theater. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. I
think Janky.
Janky is in 2 bands. And it's just like, it's just crazy. And then here you are in also theater. I guess nerdy hobbies and passions, Magic, theater, just, I don't know, weird.
I got kind of a late start to it again. We're talking about 2021. So I was like 39 years old starting theater for the first time.
Oh, that's crazy. See, yeah,
I'd done skits and things in college and, like in camps and kind of been funny, but like going out there, memorizing a script and then acting it out in front of folks. And I've even pushed myself to do things that aren't just funny characters, but that are more serious. I was Paul Sheldon in Misery, which was a really tough
Wow.
One,
okay.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, hot damn.
Love it.
Well, let's get into some actual Magic stuff. I was going to talk more about the Junkies, Magic Junkies. Yeah. Is this a set cast that you have every week? How many often are you shooting? Who's on the show? What do you got?
Yeah, so it currently is not a set cast. It was just me trying to think of how to create and brand a show or a product line using what I already had, right? So I'm MJVariant, and so I just started brainstorming with the initials MJ and came up with Magic Junkies and kind of related again back to the game. Like we call it cardboard crack. There's sports junkies, so why shouldn't there be Magic Junkies? It's not a derogatory term. It's just, hey, we love it and we're gonna get our fix in as much as we can.
We love our junk.
So I started it just kind of like what my friends were doing, asking them and other creators to join in and play, opening it up to the community. I've actually had a few people that started playing Spell Table kind of at the same time that were just like me a few months ago, just in the comments of Twitch streams.
Hmm.
Um, and some of my biggest supporters, like the people that you don't see create content, but like consume content, they would send me uplifting messages or memes, or we would just talk about deck ideas in Instagram messages. Started playing on my stream. And so it just started as a place for friends of mine and other creators to sign up to kind of like, um, I call it network, or, or I'm kind of going blank on what I've called it before, but basically just so that, their viewers can be exposed to me. I can be exposed, if I go on their show, just kind of uh, cross pollinating each other's follower base, so that maybe people tune in because their favorite creators playing on Magic Junkies, or maybe I go play on someone else's stream and they see me there. But eventually, I would like it to be more of a production than just like a Spell Table Twitch stream. So that's just part of growth, right? Right now, I'm starting with the basics, and then once I kind of get used to it, maybe we'll produce some more recorded content that's not just like a pickup game.
I get you. No, I mean, it's glad you have aspirations. It's good that you have something to like shoot towards, like trying to build this thing out, and it's still pretty fresh. So I mean, you got time.
Oh yeah, and right now it's fun. I started in September, and I kind of went pedal to the metal, where I was doing it 3 nights a week, and that was a bit much. So I've kind of scaled back to like 1.5 nights a week.
And you are married too, so I mean,
I'm not.
Oh, you are not. Okay.
I have children.
Okay.
I have children.
I heard kids, so I assumed.
Yeah. No, that's the other part of just sometimes life happens, and it. I'm happy to be a single dad. My kids are teenagers. They're mostly self-sufficient, which now I just have to make sure like they're safe and there's food in the house, and I can spend time on content creation.
You've done the hard work.
Oh yeah.
Now, do any of them play Magic?
My daughter played years ago, but she kind of got out of it when her cousin moved, and he played, and it was kind of like a family thing. But she doesn't play anymore. And my son, he has been more interested in like Minecraft and Roblox and computer games than
That's
he has.
All right, that is definitely fair. So we've got the new Avatar set coming out next week. What are your thoughts?
So again, you've kind of heard, I've been playing for a long time. So I remember, just the part of me when Universes Beyond first came in that was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I really wish they would do Lord of the Rings. And then they did Lord of the Rings. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. But I really didn't care about the previous Universes Beyond. But I've come around to, now like really enjoy the Universes Beyond sets. Even if I wasn't a super big fan, like Final Fantasy, for whatever reason, it kind of missed me. I never played Final Fantasy, although it would have been a game that I would have enjoyed. But I didn't have a lot of excitement like other people did for the set. But when I played the set and I saw the design of the set, I was like, this is pretty good. And like they did a good job with this. So Avatar is kind of in that same line. I know there's a lot of my friends that are really huge fans of Avatar and grew up watching Avatar. Again, that was just something I kind of missed, maybe with my age. Came after where life, whatever. But seeing the spoilers, seeing the set, I've kind of mixed feelings. I'm excited about it. New game pieces and new things to do that inspire creativity, but also like just a little bit worried that maybe it's just another set that's power creeping some of the older cards out. Because I really think like fire bending and earth bending are really strong, and really air bending's kind of strong too. All of them are strong, but just kind of wonder how it's going to shape Magic in the years to come, because these cards are coming out with these new abilities.
Yeah, we're definitely getting into a weird period to be in Magic with all these new random sources of cards coming in, like and the push for all the Universes Beyond, and all right, now we're doing 7 sets a year, and it's like, good. Yeah. It's good. Can only be good.
It's one of those. I wish it were more 50-50. Like half of it in universe, half of it Universe Beyond. If that's what you're going to promote from a marketing and and production standpoint. But yeah, um, just looking ahead, I'm fine with 7 sets. I just wish it was like 4 in universe and 3 universes beyond.
Well, Hasbro got a taste of that good with Final Fantasy. They're never coming back. Where they're gonna try to do as many universes beyond as they possibly can to get, because the number of people I ran into was like, oh, I didn't play Magic until Final Fantasy, or oh, I love Lord of the Rings, as you were saying, where it's like,
yeah.
Oh, this is the thing that got me into Magic. It's like, all right, I can't argue with that. The logic's there, but man, they are just, it's rough.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I've asked everybody, Magic can get pretty negative out there. It gets easy to talk negatively about certain things, but let's hear about something that you find positive and a good thing in the Magic universe that does not have anything to do with the gathering, because that's such an easy go-to. Everybody immediately goes to it. So think of something that you find positive in the community.
Oh yeah. I could talk about the gathering over and over, but
Oh, I know.
From the game standpoint, I do like that it is getting. Let me think about this for a second. From the game standpoint, I feel like it's exciting that there's different ways to play. There's something for everybody. Again, kind of going back to my name, Variant. If you don't like a certain gameplay, it doesn't mean you can't play the game. So I feel like that's a positive thing, that there's options for everybody. And then there's also, in a way, kind of low barriers to entry for the game. Yes, there's expensive cards if you want to be competitive, but there's also formats that reward, like if you don't have all of the money in the world and you have a budget, you can play Pauper, or you can play MTG Arena for free. And you can get in on events and you can do these daily challenges. You can learn to play. So I think that's still a positive thing. I think it's just showcases that this is a game that cares about bringing new people in. So that's something I at least think that Magic does a good job of.
Okay. Now, one thing we haven't talked about yet is your specific play style. What do you like playing? Are you commander guy? You like Pauper? Let's hear some Magic stories here.
Yeah, so in the years past, I was really huge on limited formats. So I love sealed deck challenges and drafts. I just feel like that brings a level of skill that other formats, again, if you buy the best cards and you learn how to do the combos or what to search for, you're kind of you can watch that on YouTube and you can net deck. But when you're playing limited or draft, then it's kind of up to you and your skill of evaluating cards and how to build a deck and how to use your cards in game. In the game, timing and decision points really matter. So that's kind of my favorite of all to play, whether that's competitive or just for fun on Arena, because again, it's a challenge and it's new, it's fresh, it's different every time. But I also love 60 card formats, primarily standard. I tried to play modern and some of the longer eternal formats, but again, I just feel like it was too scripted. You could net deck and you could see where the lines were, and standards that way too, right? We can see what the top decks are performing in the tournament, and you're going to inevitably run into those. And not saying good players don't play those decks, they do. It's just, again, there's not a lot of variety if you know what to expect. If you know Vivi's coming or Demir Flash is coming or whatever it is, you're going to see people playing those decks, and it just kind of waters it down a little bit. But I still love 60 card format because it's again, it's a kind of a different mindset, right? Instead of 4-player commander where we're politicking and maybe playing more of a casual game, one-on-one 60 card game, the goal is to defeat your opponent. So there's not a lot of hurt feelings if you counter their spell or kill their best creature, because that's the whole object of it.
Yeah, so, why are you picking on me? It's you're the only other guy here. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, the point is to pick on you. The point is to keep your creatures off the board and to take you down as fast as I can. And so that's to me, those two formats are some of my favorites to play. The sad reality is, though, you can't play them as often as you can Commander. Commander, again, you have your cards from your entire collection from the history of Magic, and it's casual, and you can, even though it's a 4-person format, you can find enough players to play it. The deal with limited is now it's costing more and more to play. So, you know, I know I'm an old head and I'm like gray in my beard, but I remember the times when you could go and for $10 or $12 you could draft. And now, if you want to start a draft, minimum $25 probably for, and then you got to get 8 people to decide to do that. And I know they've started the pick two draft and things like that, but it's like now you've created this financial barrier to, is it really worth it to go draft? I'm going to get that value back in the packs I open or the prizes I get? Probably not. Um, where in the past, you could make up that if you won, or if you even that you could say, well, this is my entertainment, right? This is $10 or $12 for on a Friday night for entertainment. Well, now it's like $25 is a bigger decision. And then standard or 60 card format is so hard to find events that actually fire that have 8 people or more wanting to play the 60 card format. So you're kind of relegated to going to bigger tournaments or playing online.
Are you in a place with a lot of different LCSs, or you got your one that you go to and this is my show?
Yeah, so even though I'm in kind of a rural part of the United States, I have to go to the next towns over. So there's not a LGS in my town. I've hosted a lot of games at my house with friends, but to go to an LGS, I have to drive 20 to 30 minutes, and there's 3 different towns that I could do that. So I have options. Now, again, every LGS is a little bit different as far as culture and community. So there's some places I just don't really like to go because either I don't like the community of players or the attitudes or the owner, like if the store is poorly ran and you just say, I don't want to put my dollars there. I don't want to support that store and that owner. And then there are bigger events that I can drive to that are about an hour and a half away. Um, but it's like, I could do that once a month, maybe once every 2 months. So I still support those and maybe have an avenue to do that, but I'm not going to be doing that on a regular basis.
No, it makes sense. That's a lot. Like I'm in a very similar situation where I literally I'm in walking distance to an LCS, but the scene just wasn't great there. And now I drive 20 minutes to a much better, card shop run by a veteran, ironically. So it was like, oh yeah, this is great. So,
yeah.
So perfect opportunity. So, but no, I totally understand. Well, we're running out of time here. Let's go ahead and start wrapping things up. Where can people find you on the internet? You got that nice little border there with all your perfectly aligned social media setup.
Yeah, so I am mostly active on Instagram. That's just kind of where I started the bulk of my content creation journey. You can find me there, and then follow my link tree for other places, and also some discounts on different links and websites. But also I do the Twitch stream mostly on Wednesday nights, and then now it's going to be on Saturdays, maybe every other Saturday. But you can find me on Twitch under MJVariant as well, but you'll find the Magic Junkies if you want to watch some of the old VODs. And then also on YouTube, kind of the same name. But I do try to upload those Twitch streams and then some of my arena gameplay, and also some shorts and reels that I make. But outside of that, I'm on some of the other places like TikTok and Blue Sky, but I'm not as active. So check out Instagram and go from there.
All right, everybody. MJVariant, thank you for coming on the show. Certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Really enjoy what you're doing with the community and enjoyed meeting you in Atlanta.
Absolutely. Thanks, man.